Hey guys, I have something kind of cool to show you. Over the past week, I kind of worked on this project here, and basically, I was replacing my gaming laptop's keyboard with the RGB version. So, this laptop here is a Dell G5 5590 15-inch version. And you could see here the laptop originally came with a static blue backlit keyboard. And it served me well over the years, or well, over the past year, I should say. But I always wanted it to have an RGB keyboard. And upon doing some research, I figured out it could be done. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate how I did it and prove that it does, in fact, work and you can do it. Even if you have the static keyboard. So that's what this video is about. And during this time, I actually had my girlfriend visiting me for the week. So there she is there, playing her Switch, playing Animal Crossing. And so now here's what the laptop looks like, taken all apart. I just have the back plate removed at this point, but if we kind of flip it over and zoom in, you'll notice there's a curious port there called RGB BL. And this is in all of these laptops. Even if you don't have the RGB model, you just have the static backlit keyboard, you still have this port. So it's kind of interesting. So I decided to buy the RGB keyboard on eBay. And when it finally got to me, I took the laptop apart again and tried to install it. And you can see at this point here, I've already got the dual fans removed, and I'm awkwardly struggling at trying to get the motherboard out. Um, but yeah, basically in this video, I just wanted to prove that the RGB keyboard can be installed if you never had it before. And I wanted to demonstrate how the keyboard actually looks. Because if you look on YouTube, there really aren't any videos demonstrating that RGB keyboard in this particular laptop. So I figured I'd do that here towards the end. And you can see I'm still trying to get the motherboard out, but I do eventually get it. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to damage anything, obviously. And I'm just wiggling it a little. And there we go. Motherboard is free. Well, almost. I'm so awkward when I work on this stuff. Now, that's actually the keyboard, the black area there. That's the actual keyboard chassis, I guess, if you want to call it, or mount. There are over 30 screws holding that keyboard in place. And here I'm kind of panning around showing you my diagrams that are keeping all the screws together. And this is with everything apart. This is all of it apart. There's my tool set. There is the old keyboard. So I have gotten the old keyboard apart at this point. And here is kind of a time-lapse camera. I've already got my new RGB keyboard reinstalled. Well, newly installed, I should say. And you can see me putting the fans back in place. So, yep, I'm referring to my diagram of screws there that I have taped. Kind of a handy technique So I'm putting the back plate on here. And this whole process took probably collectively 3 hours to do, um, spanning across 2 days. So, yeah, it was kind of a kind of a bitch to do, honestly. But it was well worth it in the end. I'm really happy with how it came out. So now the laptop's back together, and you can see all the cat hair all over this thing. uh, yeah, my cat and dog shed a lot, so their fur is all over this thing, and I'm trying to dust it off. Now, this is kind of interesting. When I first turned on the laptop, this is what it did. The screen stayed black, and the power light kind of blinked a couple times, and the caps lock light was on. So I'm thinking to myself, did I do something wrong here? Why is this not working? Um, so then I decide, well, let me try and turn the laptop back off and turn it on again. So I go ahead and do that, turning it off. And then I turn it back on. And I still get a black screen. Once again, the power light kind of blinks a couple times, but that's it. Black screen, no Dell logo. What the hell is that? you know? So at this point, I'm trying to think, what did I do wrong? I didn't remove the RAM. I did reinsert the CMOS battery properly, so nothing wrong there. I reattached the wires for the screen, so it's not the display. There were no leftover parts on the table, nothing I could think of. And all of a sudden, the screen blanks. So I'm like, oh shit, maybe I just need to give it a sec. So I'm waiting and waiting. And then finally, the Dell logo appears. Weird, huh? So that was interesting. So you may encounter that when you do this process. And then eventually you get to this screen, which is the BIOS setup. And of course, because of the fact I disconnected the CMOS battery, I had to reset the BIOS clock in the laptop. So once you do that, it takes a little minute, but then it will boot up to Windows as normal. So here we are booting up into Windows. And now, interestingly, you'll see that the backlight in the keyboard is still not on. Keyboard is functional. I could type with it. It's just not lighting up. And since it's not a plug-and-play device, it's not designed to be. If you have Alienware Command Center installed already, it will actually not detect the RGB keyboard. So what you have to do is uninstall Alienware Command Center, download it again if you don't already have it, reinstall it, and then it'll finally detect the new keyboard. So here we are in Windows, and you can see Alienware Command Center does not have the effects tab at the top. So you cannot access any of the lighting features at this point if you already had Alienware Command Center before you did this. So here I am kind of looking for the lighting features and not finding them. So that's interesting. So I have to uninstall it, which I'm doing here, and then re-download Alienware Command Center. And then reinstall it. And this process honestly took way longer than I wanted it to. Um, I don't know why it was such a pain, but it was. And not to mention, this software is really big. It's almost a gig big. Gig big. Anyway, once I finally got Alienware Command Center installed, you could see the RGB keyboard does in fact work, and it looks awesome. And I'm just kind of cycling through the different colors here. And I display a little bit of how this keyboard works. Like I said, I haven't seen any YouTube videos on this keyboard in action, so I wanted to show that off here. And there's 4 different zones on this keyboard. You got the left zone, the left center, the right center, and the right zone. So 4 different zones that you can assign individual colors to. You could do like strobing effects, and you could create presets that you can save and use later, which is pretty cool. And you get the whole spectrum of colors there at your disposal. And you could see I'm demonstrating here how the 4 zones work and where they are. Pretty cool. So, yep. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing this. And, yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.